Hello, hello. All right. Welcome back to the Best Alec podcast. Got a lot to talk about, considering the season already started. So I'm just going to get straight to it. Took a lot of notes on the games this week. So I'm going to go over what I saw, go over what's happened, just tell you about some things in the future, how I think things might turn out. First, watch the very first game of the Cavs versus the Nets. Donovan Mitchell he's a dog. I mean, he just is. That team, the Cavs look really complete right now. Darius Garland hasn't even been playing, but they have pieces like Caris LeVert, who's been really explosive for them. Donovan Mitchell, who's just been an absolute demon. You got Evan Mobley, who's young and versatile. And then also from the Nets, Cam Thomas has a really good season so far. Multiple 30-point games already. He's a walking bucket, and he needs more minutes in my opinion. I'm gonna talk about what each of these teams need to, like what they need to be good in the playoffs. The Nets, they just need a little bit. They just need some age. They're all really, really young, so having some age with them would definitely help them out to push through the playoffs. I think the Cavs really need some consistency. They're kind of an inconsistent team, kind of streaky at times. Sorry for that. So if they can stay consistent, they'll be very successful. Also watch the Suns versus the Warriors game. I really like the three-headed superstars that the Suns have, with the Booker, Beal, and Durant. They can kind of almost lean on one of them to be the scorer of that game, and they all play pretty decent enough defense to fit on the court. Devin Booker looks amazing. He needs to stay healthy. He needs to be playing games this year. Could definitely be a contender for some awards if he does well. And the Warriors, I mean, I just don't understand like Chris Paul and Stephen Curry makes it. I get it. Like Chris Paul's a facilitator and Curry can work off the ball, but they have no height. Like they were starting. It was like Chris Paul, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Kevon Looney their first game. I mean, they're just asking to get out rebounded. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Curry's playing phenomenal this year, so it'd be very interesting to see how he works with Chris Paul. And then I watched the Dallas versus Spurs game as a Spurs fan. It was an interesting game. Definitely could have been better, but I don't know. Luka looks really good. Kyrie doesn't. He looks a little out of place at times. Doesn't quite fit in as much as we wish he would. Wembanyama, his ups. I'm gonna go over his ups and downs. So his ups is, I mean, he's been so far. He's been really, really good in like crunch time. I've noticed. He seems to be able to flip a switch. He does start a little slow. We saw that in all three of the games. I mean, but the Spurs starting lineup is absolutely electric. I mean, I really like the Jeremy Sohan playing the point. We have an incredible height and kind of like a crazy defensive team if we really get our stuff together. We're so young. Don't really know what we're doing sometimes. And that's really prominent because there's so much like turnovers and poor decision making. Derek Lively for Dallas. I mean, he looks. I don't know. Looks pretty good, but I think any big you stick next to Luka is gonna really be successful. I mean, I don't know. He just sets a pick, rolls, and gets it and dunks it. I mean, that's what they need out of him. That's what they want out of him, and that's what they should get out of like all their bigs because Luka's he's so good out of the pick and roll. So it'll be very interesting how they these people like that. I want to see Derek Lively. I haven't looked at any of his other games. I know he had a really good first game. Yeah, he hasn't had such a good games from then on out. But he hasn't played any minutes. First game he played 23, then he played 7 and 9. Man, I don't really get that. And then Grant Williams decided to bully the crap out of our team. It's just ridiculous how we let somebody like him do that, but go ahead. Whatever you want, Grant Williams, mister. I'll make both of these and proceeds to miss both free throws. If you remember that from last year, it was kind of embarrassing. Okay, then I'm going to look at the Celtics versus the Knicks game. This is the first game that... Not the first game. But, like, Kristaps Porzingis going back to the Knicks. Man, Kristaps this year looks great. And I've been saying that fit for them has been really, really good. I really think that's, like, their best thing they've done in the past couple of years was get Kristaps to go over there. And I really like how physical he's been as a paint player, considering, you don't really see that out of him when he was at Washington and Dallas. He wasn't really a paint type player. So I really like how he played in that first game. Second game he played decent. Would like him to become a little bit more consistent. But I think that's a really good pickup for them. My only problem with the Celtics roster is that their lack of role players seems to be a problem. I mean, they gave everything up, and they're paying all these big names so much money. They can't really afford good role players. They lost Malcolm Brogdon and Robert Williams. So I don't really know what they're going to do. Jason Tatum needs to play like an MVP this year. And I think he can. I'm going to talk about that. And then Jaylen Brown, I don't know if he deserves the money he got. I mean, my goodness, he got freaking paid. It's kind of actually ridiculous how much he got paid. Let me see how he did. He actually had a good game the other night against Washington, but the Wizards looked terrible. Yeah, he had 30. He had 36. No, that's actually impressive. Okay, 36. But he's just, I don't know, he's just a little too inefficient for me. Makes some interesting decisions, and then, the whole left-hand joke. He ain't got nothing, but... And then what I saw from the Knicks, they just, I don't know, they have no physicality. Like, they just... Like, one of their 5 is soft. Like, even Mitchell Robinson's soft this year. I don't know, he just looks out of it. Julius Randle looks out of it. Jalen Brunson looks like, I mean, he's not really soft, but it's not like he's, like, good enough to be playing that much of defense. Josh Hart plays with a lot of heart, pun intended. RJ Barrett, I don't know. The Knicks team, they're just not going to do anything. They're not built to compete right now. I don't know what's going on. Then, like, we're going to go the Nuggets versus the Lakers. I mean, I said that the Nuggets were probably going to win that game. They have a more used roster. They've been through it. They have a good core. The Lakers really do have a good, like, nice core. But I think they're being utilized wrong, in my opinion. Gabe Vincent, I mean, he's a decent player. He's just not, like, he's not what he was at the Heat. And I feel like the Lakers should have known that, since the Heat is very good at just making role players fit into their system, because they're definitely a system type team. The Heat are. So when these players go out, like Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, I don't think they're going to give you the same amount of production they did at the Heat. But I would like Christian Wood to be playing more minutes. I'm kind of disappointed with how little they're using him. Yeah, I mean, he's playing like 15 minutes a game. It's almost sad. I don't know why he's playing so little. He should be playing 20 plus every game. You know, make him play center, or make AD play center, and they can rotate off of each other. I mean, that can really help AD from experiencing less injuries. So, I don't know. The Nuggets, they look just about the exact same as they did last year, in my opinion. There's not much that have changed from them. LeBron looks good. He looks honestly better, in my opinion, than he did last year. But I just don't like. I just don't like how much they rely on LeBron to do everything. It's kind of. I don't know. They need to fix that. They need to. Anthony Davis is finally stepping into his own again, which is good. Get him to be healthy, consistent, because he's a really good player. He's like a top 10 player in the league when he's healthy and consistent. So I have a lot of hope for the Lakers this year. If they can find out their rotation and find out what works for them, that would definitely lead to some success. Zion, I mean, he looks like he could be back, but we have to, pray that he stays healthy. And I mean, he's only playing like 19 minutes a game. Or no, sorry. He's playing like 30 minutes a game. My bad. How's his efficiency? Decent. Needs to limit some turnovers though. I don't know. He's such a strange player. If you look at his stats, are very weird. He's like a 20-point per game scorer right now. Gets about like 6 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal. But man, he's averaging like 2-3 turnovers a game. It's not good. Just would like him to be healthy, play out his years healthy. I don't see him being an all-star, but I could, because it's all voted on, so I can see it happen. Pelicans do have a decent squad. They really do. They're not bad. I don't know. They don't have enough firepower, in my opinion, to win anything big. But they have a good team. And the Grizzlies, it almost seems like Desmond Bane's like alone out there. I don't know. And then like Jaren Jackson, this dude, just I love him. I love the way he plays. He's just too inconsistent. Like his first game, 8 points. Second game, 20 points, 21 points. Sorry. Third game, 16. Last game, 30. Like, he's a good shot blocker. But man, the consistency is just wild. He's a good 3-point shooter. Been shooting it well this season so far. But I still like how streaky he is. You just want him to be consistent. You're gonna be seeing a lot of that with me. I just don't like inconsistency from players, and that's like the big thing that should be fixed from some people. Like that's the reason why I like Donovan Mitchell so much. He's such a consistent player. I mean, he's been doing this stuff the whole season so far. He just needs to stay healthy. Let's look at Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell's already a 30-point per game scorer. I mean, he did miss the game versus Indiana, but he'll be back out there tonight, I believe. I bet he will. Lakers versus the Suns. Very interesting game. Lakers have won. But the Suns, they can't sit 2 of their stars at once. That's not, like, you can't. it was only KD playing out there, and he had a good game, but like for them to win, they need to be playing 2 out of 3 at all times. I don't care how it's mixed. I don't care if it's Booker, Beal, Durant, Booker. They just gotta find two to be playing at all times. Eric Gordon is like 34 and he's taking like almost 20 shots a game, it seems like, for the Suns, and I think he needs to know his role. I think he needs to take it back. AD, this is where he stepped up. I really liked him in this game. Just he needs to be physical like he was. Like I said, LeBron is relied on too much. And like why is Rui Hachimura not playing like any minutes? It is baffling to me. Let me look. He's playing 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 13 minutes. Like, what is he supposed to do in that time? I don't. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I think he's hurt right now, actually. Oh shoot, eye contusion. Holy crap. But no, yeah, he needs, like, when he comes back, he needs to be playing more minutes. They need to take minutes away from, Taurean Prince is a good player, but they need to take minutes away from him a little bit. Take minutes away from Gabe Vincent. Take some minutes off of AD to make sure he doesn't get hurt. I mean, not like a crazy amount from AD, like 4, 3. Just like tone it down and give Christian Wood and Rui Hachimura some more minutes, because they can be definitely some good pieces for them, and they should definitely be utilized with how much they gave up to get these people. I mean, they need to use these pieces that they spend so much money and so much capital on and use them to their fullest potential. I just don't get it. Also, Yuta Watanabe, my guy, who I was talking about in the last episode. Shoot, man. This dude he's a spark. He's such a spark for that team. And that's what I said he'd be. And he just needs to continue being a spark for these guys and be a consistent 3-point shooter. That's what they need. They don't want the Suns need role players that are not streaky. Like Grayson Allen is a good role player for them, in my opinion. Yusuf Nurkic is a good player for them. Yuta Watanabe is a good player for them. So I think they're headed in the right direction. They could have success later in the season. Gonna move on to my way too early predictions for these awards. We're gonna start with MVP. I'm really stuck between 2 players, and it depends on where they are seated for me. If Luka finishes in the top 5 for seeding, like top 4, top 5, right, with the numbers he's been putting up so far, he'll be MVP. Now, if Tatum becomes a 30-plus point per game scorer and finishes in the top 3, because he doesn't have like all the rebounds, assists, and his team's a little bit more stacked than Luka's is, so they have to be like a little bit higher a seed, he could win MVP. Because Jokic isn't going to win it, and I don't see Embiid winning it again. Jokic's not going to win it because of voter fatigue. Voter fatigue's real. Okay. And Joel Embiid's not going to win it because he didn't even deserve it last year, in my opinion. Rookie of the Year, Chet has looked really, really good. Really, really good. I'm so glad he was able to have a year off before he got fully into the league. It's honestly better for some players like that. And in football, too, like that. It works really well with them. But Wembanyama is going to get it. He's my guy. I'm a Spurs fan. He's got to get it. Going to go to my most improved player. I think Desmond Bane could win most improved player, or Anthony Edwards. Desmond Bane went off last year. Most of the year he was the second option, putting up good points. But then you saw when John Morant left how much like better he is. So I could see him winning Most Improved because when Ja comes back, I'm not sure he's going to be getting the ball as much as he used to. So I could definitely see Desmond Bain getting it. Anthony Edwards could get it because Ant-Man's bound to have a breakout year this year. So I could definitely see that happening for somebody like him. Defensive Player of the Year. I don't really know. Such a toss-up award. I could see Jaren Jackson winning it again. I could see Walker Kessler winning it this year. I could see Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges should have won it the year Marcus Smart won it, in my opinion. But that's another argument. I could see Chet winning this. Sixth Man of the Year. Is Derek White starting? Like, I don't know if he's starting or not. Celtics starting lineup. I think they are starting him. Okay, they don't. What? I think he is starting. Yeah, he is starting. Okay. I was going to give him the Sixth Man of the Year, but he's not starting anymore. Or he is starting now. Who else? Christian Wood could win it if he got more minutes, in my opinion. Tyler Hero could win it again. Yeah, I'm a Spurs fan. Trey Jones, this is really good off the bench. For us specifically. I don't know. I don't think we've seen enough this year to say who a six man should be yet. Okay, and then I'm gonna go over like 10 teams, and I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna say like what they have to prove this year, like as a whole. The Timberwolves, they just have to like. Are they competitive? Like we've seen them go to the playoffs like last year, but I mean they should be better than what they are. So they need to be competitive. The Sixers, we're gonna talk about them again, especially after that trade last night. James Harden's gone to the Clippers now. I just don't see. I like they have to. This whole trust the process. It's not working. So like they need to. Is this trade gonna be what fixes them? Maybe. The Heat. Can they recreate the same success from last season? I feel like that's like the obvious for the Heat. Cavaliers. They just need to do. They need to compete this year in the playoffs specifically. They need to. Donovan Mitchell needs to be playing at his normal level. They need Darius Garland out there. They need Evan Mobley stepping up this year. They need Caris LeVert. They have a good team. They really do. Just can they recreate that success in the playoffs? The Suns are there like they need their star players to be playing this year as much as possible. Even with the new rule, they still need them to be playing as much as possible. The Celtics, in my opinion, this year, the Celtics are a ring or bust team. In my opinion. Because if they don't win it this year, they aren't going to win it next year. Because they're only getting older. The salary cap's going to start messing with them bad. So they really got to win this year. The Mavericks, they gotta make it to the playoffs. My goodness. Last year they didn't make it to the playoffs. They need to make it this year. And the Kings was last year a fluke. Personally, I don't think so. De'Aaron Fox is a dog. He's like my guy. I love him. He's so good in the clutch. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about Clutch Player of the Year, actually. Talk about that in a second. But like they just have to prove to the NBA that last year was not a fluke and that they're here to compete and do it again and light the beam. But no, my clutch player of the year, I could see Damian Lillard winning it. I mean, he is Dame time, especially now that he's at the Bucks. Can see him definitely becoming a clutch player of the year. I could see De'Aaron winning it again. I mean, last year it wasn't even close how good De'Aaron was in clutch. I could see. I hate saying this, but I could see Trae Young winning it. I'm not a Trae Young fan. Yeah. And then some ups and downs over these past couple years. It's funny. I have this written down here before it actually happened. Up. Brooklyn Nets trading away all their stars was such a good thing for them. Like, I love the Brooklyn Nets squad right now. And they're going to be a dark horse in the East. I could definitely see them taking out, like, being like a 6 or 7 seed and knocking off a top seed in the playoffs. I could definitely see them being that type of team. I have this written down. A down James Harden situation. Well, now that his situation's in, the Clippers franchise, we're gonna see how that changes. I'm gonna talk about that at the very end, and then I'm gonna go to the next up. The Jazz development, of their young players. I mean, shoot, Lauri Markkanen is him. He's so good. You got Walker Kessler, who's walking in as almost he could be a defensive player of the year candidate. You got Colin Sexton, who's been better at the Jazz than he was at the Cavs. Jordan Clarkson's really good. I mean, you just have such good, Keontae George could be really good. He's looked pretty solid for them. Been a really nice rotational piece. And he's a rookie. And the next down is the whole Hornets franchise, except for them getting Mr. Beast on their jersey. If you haven't seen that, it's kind of cool. But their whole franchise is just, I have no word for it, but other than shitting the bed. What is their only bright side right now is Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball. Half their team is in jail, and who knows what they're doing. I don't think the Hornets know what they're doing. It doesn't seem like it sometimes. And then I'm going to go over one of the most interesting, I'm not going to say favorite young cores in the league, but I'm going to go over one of the most interesting. The Pistons. It's a very strange core they have over here. Cade Cunningham looks really, really good. He's like a big guard he's like a Josh Giddey. Really similar. Not as much pass first as Josh Giddey is, but a little bit more scoring first. Jalen Duren, I was so high on him. I wanted him so bad as a Spurs fan. But he looks really good for the Pistons. So athletic. And he's a really good fit for Cade Cunningham and Asir Thompson. Asir Thompson looks great. Both the Thompson twins look great. This draft class is going to be a really, really strong one. In the next couple of years, we'll see that. They just have a great physical set for NBA. Very, very good defensively. They get rebounds. They're shooting better. Their shooting's improving, definitely improving. You can literally see it. But they can score at the rim at a high rate. They can pass the ball. They're 6'7" with a crazy wingspan. I mean, they're a great young piece to build around. Jaden Ivey, he's like a poor man's De'Aaron Fox. That's literally how I would describe him. Has he played this year? I don't know if he has. Let me see. Yeah, he has. He's been a little on and off. Yeah, he's been a little on and off, but he'll find it. He'll find it eventually. I know that. So they have him listed as small. What? It's weird. Um. So yeah, like I just want like the Pistons got to either figure out what they're doing right now. This is the year that they need to be like, okay, we've rebuilt. Maybe wait this year out one more time, play through it, see what our young team can do. Next year, get a big piece either from free agency. Make sure you keep your pieces, such as Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren. Make sure they stay with the team, because that's gonna be super important. And then compete. You got to get like a vet to come over, like a star vet maybe in free agency. Either trade, give up some of like your rotational pieces, such as like Killian Hayes, James Wiseman, maybe Monte Morris. See if you can get maybe a bigger piece out of that you can definitely utilize for your roster. But I kind of like what they're doing over there. It's not super bad. But now we're gonna talk about James Harden. He just got traded to the Clippers, and I'm gonna give my opinion on that because I don't know. I don't really get it. Like the Sixers are getting Marcus Morris, Nick Batum, Robert Covington, KJ Martin, a 2028 unprotected first round pick, 2 second round picks, and a pick swap. The Clippers are only getting James Harden, PJ Tucker, and Philip Petrusev. Like I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know who that is. But how, like, uh, they got nothing. The Sixers got nothing out of this deal. Or no, sorry. The Clippers, because James Harden's not gonna play, and if he does play, I don't really see him fitting with Paul George very well, or Kawhi Leonard. I mean, what other two-star time has he fit with? Did he fit with Kyrie and KD? I don't know. They never played. Did he fit with Embiid? Kind of. Maybe, but not like super well. Did he fit with Chris Paul? In my opinion, no. So I just don't think that. Why do they see this is gonna be a difference? This is good for the Sixers to get all these pieces, but like what? Like what is Marcus Morris, Nick Batum? I mean, Robert Covington's a good piece. KJ Martin gonna do for them? Probably just as much as James Harden did. I just don't see the point. I mean, they get like 4 picks, but okay. I don't. This is such an L for both teams, in my opinion. Like they just, I don't. I don't see how either team's gonna really benefit from this. Maybe the Sixers because they're gonna have like a nicer depth. Because now they're gonna be like relying on like Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris and Joel Embiid to be a little bit more aggressive. But I think this is such a bad trade for both sides of the ball. I'm just so tired of James Harden leaving teams. He's been to 4 different teams in like 2 years. He was at Houston, then went to the Nets, and then from the Nets to the Sixers, and then from the Sixers now to the Clippers. Just I don't really understand why he needs to be jumping around places like this. I don't know. And then we're gonna end this off with I'm gonna see if I can predict the rest of the games this week. Why not? Let's have a little fun. All right. Let's see. NBA. Well, today we have the Knicks Cavs. Cavs should win if Cavs should win if Donovan Mitchell plays. Spurs Suns, I'll be watching that. Dang, it's at 10? Holy crap. Suns are probably gonna win if Devin Booker's playing. Magic Clippers. I don't think James Harden's even gonna be playing in this, but I think the Clippers are gonna win. They spanked the Spurs the other night by 40. I don't want to talk about it. It hurt my heart. Magic are another interesting team. Probably talk about them next episode. Tomorrow we got the Bucks Raptors. Bucks probably gonna win. They need to win. Pistons Blazers. I think Blazers gonna win. I think Scoot Henderson's gonna have a big game. Then you got the Thunder versus the Pelicans. Ooh, that'll actually be a good game. I don't know. I want to say I want to give it to the Pelicans. I don't know why. Just got a feeling. Cavs Knicks again. Cavs probably take it 2 times in a row. You got the Nets, the Heat. I'll go with the Nets. Celtics, Pacers, Celtics, Wizards, Hawks, Nuggets, Timberwolves. I can see the Timberwolves winning, but it's hard to pick them over the Nuggets. You got Hornets and Rockets. Rockets should win that game. Bulls, Mavericks. I mean, the Bulls don't like Zach LaVine literally scored half their points the other day. He's dropped 51. They had 102, and they still lost to the Pistons. What are they doing? Jazz, Grizzlies. I think the Jazz take that. Clippers, Lakers. Give me the Lakers. And Warriors, Kings. Warriors beat them last time. I could definitely see them winning again. The Kings look good though. De'Aaron Fox looks amazing. Thursday, the Raptors, the Sixers. I'll take Sixers. Pistons, Pelicans. I'll take the Pistons. Magic, Jazz. I'll pick Magic. Spurs, Suns again. We're probably going to lose again. But I believe we can win that one. The Thursday game. Then Friday, well, now for Friday. Cavs, Pacers. Cavs, Bucks, Knicks, Bucks. Warriors, Thunder. Give me the Thunder. Oh, that's the in-season tournament? Oh, shoot. Okay, maybe I won't go that far. Alright. Well, that's about everything I'll talk about. And then next week we'll talk about more of the same stuff. And, just get addicted to basketball. I mean, that's why I'm the Basketball Podcast. Thank you, and see you next time.